Hi, I'm Peter Pascale. I'm the executive chef here at Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, Somerset. And today we're going to cook Jersey Fresh beets. But we're going to do it a little differently. We're going to do some pan-seared salmon, some beet pesto, and we're also going to put it on a bed of beet greens. So we're going to use all of the beet. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the pesto. So it's a basic pesto. Instead of basil, we're using beets. So it's very, very similar. If you've made pesto before, it's very similar to what you've done. I have my food processor right here, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my beets. As you can see, I chopped them up a little. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these in here, and I have some garlic, not too much garlic. A little too much garlic, your mouth is gonna be on fire when you're eating this. So just a little garlic, a little bit. Now I put in pine nuts. I like pine nuts with pesto, it's traditional. And then I have some shaved Parmesan cheese, and I'm gonna put that in. And then I'm gonna put a little olive oil. Don't put all the olive oil in at once. You might need more later, you might not need so much. When you're doing a pesto, you gotta look at the consistency of the pesto. If it gets too thick, a little more oil. But if you feel like you're adding too much oil, you can hit it with a little water as well. And I'm gonna put this on, and we're just gonna blend it. And just pulse it a little bit first, and then we just blend it right up. Well, we got it on our first try. I have the consistency that I want in there. You want it so it's just a little bit thick. I have some right here that's finished, and you can just take a look at this. See that? It's just right. It's just thick enough, so you want to be able to scoop it on top of your salmon. So I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to use that a little bit later. But first, we got to get to the beet greens. First thing I want to do is I want to cut them. So I'm going to take my leaves, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to chiffonade. That's a fancy way of saying cutting leaves thin. So I'm going to just pull my knife through. I'm not going to go like this, not chopping. I'm going to pull my knife through, and I'm just going to chiffonade and chiffonade. Notice my fingers are in, right? My fingers are curved in. So now that I have this done, I can set this aside. I can put this on the side. And then I want to get out my saute pan. I have my saute pan here. And the first thing you do when you cook, heat the pan, heat the pan, heat the pan. Do not throw anything in a cold pan. So I'm going to heat it all the way up first. This induction burner is very fast. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little oil in the pan. Once it's hot, then you put the oil in the pan. I have olive oil here. I have the oil hot. Now we're going to throw in some onions and some garlic. Get them a little caramelized. That's what you want to hear when you got your stuff in the pan. That's the sound you want to hear. If you don't hear that, you didn't heat your pan properly. So we're going to toss them around a little bit. You can see they're already becoming translucent. And you want to add your little bit of garlic in there. Now you can smell the garlic. So what you want to do is now you want to put your greens in the pan. I have some greens over here. I'm just going to put them right in. Look at that, beautiful. They're beautiful. Look at them greens. We're going to toss it a little bit. When they get wilted, your greens are done. Toss them just another second. Okay, I'm going to get a bowl so I can put this on the side. And we're going to set this aside for a little bit later. But you know what? You're going to keep your pan hot. I got some fresh salmon here. We always use fresh salmon here at the hospital, so I always have it handy. I'm going to take these two pieces of salmon. See how I cut them? I cut them 2 ounces. I cut them thin like this, so you can pan sear them, and they'll be more palatable. I mean, if you're not a big fan of salmon, I suggest you cooking it like this. So it takes about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. So see how they're browned off? Then I'm just going to cook that down a little bit on the other side. Okay, now our salmon's done. Now we can plate everything up. So I have my plate right here. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our greens. We're gonna put them in the center of the plate. Put them right in the center. Got my greens here. Look at that. That looks fancy, doesn't it? Let's get a few onions on there too, right? Very nice. Now I have my salmon. Now you can plate it up a bunch of different ways. What I like to do is I like to just cross them on top here. All we need now is our beet pesto. So we have that right here. So I could put it on top. I could put 3 little things around the side. I could just put it like that. Sometimes you could just put it on the bottom and you just spread it a little as well. So you have a little extra pesto for everybody. And here we have Pan Seared Salmon with Jersey Fresh Beet Pesto and Jersey Fresh Beet Greens. We were actually the first hospital to bring in Jersey Fresh produce. We put out a million meals a year here, and when people know that we use Jersey Fresh, they're happier about it. They want to know that.
Food is medicine. You can do so much with the foods that we eat, and sometimes it gets underestimated exactly how we can help ourselves by the food that we put in our body. Buying local allows us to utilize foods that are higher in nutrients and gets us used to eating foods that are in season.
It's important to get the product that's in close proximity to you because it's fresher. Plus, Jersey Fresh items, they have a better flavor. A lot of things have better flavor. You can get a lot of stuff from California and Florida. It's not the same as getting something from here. Not that their produce is bad, it's just it has to travel here. So it's picked at a different time.
I don't think you can underestimate the value that food has and what it plays in our overall health. And supporting Jersey Fresh is one way to do that.